man. You got the nice mic and everything. Dang.
Yeah, man. Well, doing this YouTube thing, you gotta step up your game a little bit.
It's cool, man. You probably got to give me some pointers on that. I wanna jump in. I feel and try it out. Try to
what,
give it
what do you think about like streaming or gaming or something like that?
more just content based, like with my kids.
Oh
Um,
yeah, dude.
doing stuff like that. Cause that Ryan kid is killing it, bruh. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God, that dude makes like what 12 million a year or something like that, bro. And that
Dude,
was like when he's just starting out. I was
that's
like,
crazy, right? It's like when you think about like being a kid and you're getting paid to play with toys. Back when we were kids, that wasn't even a freaking thing. That's crazy.
that for free, bro. I know,
Yeah.
man. And like
Yeah.
my daughter like loves his show that's on Nickelodeon. So
Oh
like
damn.
she wants to watch. It's insane. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I wouldn't mind giving it a shot. But
Nice.
what's up with you, bro?
Good. Doing good. I mean, trying to stay sane. Still considered an essential worker, so I still got to work. And but
Oh, what do you
I
do?
work on a military base, and I like do like shipping and stuff for the troops and stuff like that. So just try
Appreciate
to yeah keep things moving. So thank you for being our first guest on UnMorphed. Like I told you
that.
before, the premise of this is we want to get to know you as Philip versus you as Max or a Power Ranger. So first off, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the first time we met?
It was at a Morphicon, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was my first Power Morphicon, and I think your wife took a picture of this and said, "You got to meet my husband. He's a Power Ranger." She didn't tell us who it was, and we met you. And we're like, "Oh damn, it's Philip."
My publicist.
Yeah,
Oh,
your
that's
publicist.
you recognized Joy from the debut, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me and my buddy Neil were huge fans of that movie growing up. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's awesome, bro.
So
So
first
you got
off,
a picture? What's up? Let me see
oh
it.
oh yeah, let me see if I can share it. Let's see if I can share the actual picture here. Let's see.
Yeah, me too.
But
Always.
yeah, first off, tell me about Philip.
What's
You as a kid, and
yeah,
how did you decide on the path of acting? And were your parents very supportive of it growing up?
got it. My mom was like super supportive in me doing it. It was something that I always enjoyed doing ever since I was like young,
Mhm.
since I was 5 actually. And I remember on walks to school, to kindergarten, my aunt, she would like put me up on this like little, it was at a bank, and she would put me on this kind of like, it was this huge window, and then there was basically just like a cemented area, and she would tell me to go up there and do my best Michael Jackson impersonation because that's who I liked as a kid. And yeah, I would always get up there and try to chime on it and do all kinds of crazy stuff up there. And I enjoyed impersonating people, acting, performing. It was always fun. And so in high school, when you're trying to figure out like what you want to do with your life, I was like, well, I want to give this acting thing a go. So I applied to the Academy of Dramatic Arts. Went there for 2 years. You have to get invited back the second year. I was grateful to get invited back, and yeah, and then dove into the whole acting thing. And I don't know if you know, but I definitely auditioned for Power Rangers a few times.
Oh, did
Um,
you?
yeah, Lightspeed Rescue was one that was I was close to. My manager at the time was saying, it's between you and this other guy for the green character. And it was actually Keith Robinson who ended up getting it.
All right, all right.
And then a year passed. I didn't audition the next year, but then the following year, then I auditioned for Wild Force Power Rangers,
Mhm.
and ended up getting it, which was cool. So I mean, it's a struggle, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm blessed. I enjoy it, man. I
Yeah.
really enjoy it, and I'm doing a lot of voiceovers now. So
Oh, really?
it's now because oh man, it's so fun because it's like I can literally do it from my closet in my
Yeah.
room, and it's really fun because you can kind of see your work and hear it back and play it and uh, mess around, and experiment with the different forms of copy, literally trying to have a relationship with who you're talking to, what you're talking to. This bee is like next to me trying to crazy, bruh. Oh, you're gonna watch me freak out now.
So what was your first your first audition gig or the gig that you actually got?
CSI actually.
CSI.
Yeah, it was for this TV show that no one knew about, and it was called Crime Scene Investigators, and I got to audition. I played a valet. I think there's like footage of it somewhere lurking about, but that experience was awesome because damn, this bee just want to, I'm doing an interview. uh, um, that was really cool because we got to go out to Vegas, which was fun.
Oh, nice.
We actually, because the actual show takes place in Vegas, and so got to go out there. They put me up in a hotel, like with the jacuzzi and stuff. I wasn't used to stuff like that. I was like, bro, this is like super nice. Like I'm like loving this. They gave me per diem, which is like $50. So basically, they just gave me gambling money, which was cool.
Yeah.
Spent that at the blackjack table. And I was out there for like only a day or so, because my scenes were, I literally shot all my scenes in one day. And it was a great experience, man. It was just a really great experience. I really enjoy, coming on the sets, and especially when the actors who are series regulars, they're warm, because I mean they see people all the time, you know what I mean? And it just makes it that much more of a enjoyable experience when they're kind of open and they're not, acting as though like I'm better than you kind of thing, So it made for a really good experience. But yeah, man, just still plugging at it. Of course, now because of quarantine, it's been insane. Like
Hollywood is dead right now,
huh? I mean, it is. I'm definitely not auditioning, but we're sending, casting directors are having, downtime too. So they're just like, send us your demos, send us, a scene that you recorded that you're proud of, that you want us to see. So we've, been sending out stuff to various casting directors, and, once, and hopefully we get out of this,
Yeah, we will.
We definitely will, man. We definitely will, because it's been a struggle, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it sucks that you're working, bro. I mean, well, not sucks. I'm glad that you do what you do, but I mean, it's scary to go out there, man.
It is.
Right?
I wear a lot of like protective gear, and the hardest part is I live with my family, and they're they're at the age of where you could get sick and potentially die. So like coming home, you just keep thinking about like, oh man, I don't want to bring that shit home and then give it to them. That's the worst part. I'll handle it. It's giving it to them is probably the worst part.
Of course, you don't want to do that indirectly. I feel you. It's one of those things where even, before when this stuff started, we're like, oh, it only affects old people, but it's like, no, there are people that are our age that are dying, you know what I mean? So it's like, makes it all that much more real. Yeah, man, it's tough, but hang in there, bro.
Thanks.
Nice Kobe, by the way.
Oh yeah, my friend got it for me. She went over to Staples Center because I was having a hard time with it. Like it was pretty tough because me and my dad, that's kind of what we both have in common, basketball and Lakers. And when he passed away, I was just like, fuck, man, this is unreal. 2020 is unreal, bro. So it sucks.
Big, bro, for sure, definitely.
So now you're a family man. You got your own family. Does it make it harder going out for auditions or acting in general?
No, man. I mean, it's you have more of a routine. There's more structure. Basically, my average day before all this was going down, I would take my son to school in the morning. My wife, she works in Thousand Oaks for a medical company, and then I would watch my daughter during the day. And then whenever I would get auditions, it wouldn't be that day. Usually you get it like a day before for like commercials and stuff like that. So if my mom is available, sometimes I drop her off at my mom's, but most of the time, if it's a commercial audition, my daughter's like usually hanging with me. She comes and, I tell people as my manager,
yeah,
we just roll out. But if it's for like theatrical television stuff, I usually try to get like either my mom, who always comes through and like is like, yo, just drop her off or whatever it may be, and then I get to go and audition. And so it hasn't been that much of a challenge, just being more structured, I guess, but I enjoy it. I enjoy auditioning. That's like the one part that I really truly enjoy. And I feel like once I stop enjoying that, then I know, okay, let's wrap it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I enjoy it, man. It's really fun. I do, truly do. So
that's nice. Okay, so in your acting career, every actor has this pivotal role, this role that they want to do like eventually, or hopefully do eventually? What is like the perfect role that you want, the perfect character or person you want to play in the future?
Wow, that's a good question. Man, I mean, ultimately what I want to do is I want to become, of course, a series regular on a television show. I don't necessarily want to be like a movie star, like that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. I just want to consistently work, and I want to be on a successful television show telling stories that I find that are not unconventional and that make some sort of an impact, whether it be comedic or dramatic. Right now, I'm in the process of working with my friend on a short because we're trying to just self-generate and create shorts, and so hopefully just being able to tell a story about not necessarily myself, but about uh, my perspective on life and sharing that with other people and seeing how much of an
That's
impact
awesome,
it'll
man.
have, you know.
That's
But
awesome.
as
Now,
far as what's up?
did I lose you?
No, I got
Oh,
you.
all
A little,
right.
just a
From,
little
from
glitchy. Huh.
Yeah, a little bit.
No,
From what I see, you are a very supportive friend. You're always supporting a lot of your friends' projects and getting involved with some of their projects. If you were to say, if you were to ask your friends one thing about you, like how they describe you, what would you hope that they would describe you as?
wow. Cool dude. I don't know. I would hope that they would say something positive about me. I would, man, you put me on the spot. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just try to. Every day is a day to grow, man, and to learn. And so, like, I don't have it all figured out, man. I feel like once you feel like you have it all figured out, that's when life as you know it flips itself on its head. And so, you know, truth seeker, trying to just learn, trying to just, grow, you know, from
Respect,
different
man.
things. So, I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I don't
Yeah.
know. Would you hear? No, I'm kidding.
Nah, you just seem like a real cool dude. I like how family oriented you are, and it's just real stand up guy. I like that. That's real
Thanks,
cool.
bro. Thanks, man. You know, from
Now,
my own experience, it was I grew up just with my mom, and my dad was kind of in and out of my life, and so not really having a father has kind of, made me into the person that I am, and I don't, like I said, I don't have it all figured out, but I the one thing that I did promise myself as a kid growing up was that, like, if I do become a father, that I wanted, regardless of whatever, maybe I wanted to be present in my kids' lives and somewhat be, you know, make good memories with them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's what it's
definitely.
about. It's creating good memories and how you said how you have that bond between your father and you. Like basketball with Kobe Bryant. Like that's what's up. Like my son. Like that's the one thing I miss, man. Because he was going to basketball. He was playing for this club, and we would go 3 days out of the week, and I just really enjoy just watching him develop into a basketball player, man. Like him playing, and it's different. Like we got a hoop out in the front, and we play, but it's just very different when you're not
Yeah,
around your peers, and those other guys are so much better than him, but he's like in the short amount of time he's gotten so much better, and now I feel like it's like this thing has caused everything to kind of just freeze up, where all that progress is kind of wasted. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
true, man. That's real. That's some real true facts. Now, for an actor, the audition process is grueling and tough. I mean, there's the constant fear of rejection, and just have to keep grinding, especially with Hollywood being how Hollywood is. How long did it take? It's definitely a marathon. How long did it take you to kind of accept that situation and kind of brush off, not exactly getting every role you want and having to keep going and going?
Yeah, well, I feel like it's your perspective. And so if you allow yourself to be result oriented, well, then you're going to be set yourself up for disappointment. If you expect a certain type of result every time and then it doesn't happen, well, then you're not going to truly enjoy the process. Like I said before, like I really enjoy auditioning. I like, and there are times when, you know, I've come really close to like parts and I'm like, and I hear like, oh, they went with, they went in another direction. And, yeah, that shit hurts, man. Like it definitely hurts because you're like, well, what did I not have? Or, it's, you immediately negatively think about what you could have, should have, would have done, or maybe it's something that I don't have that this other person has. But you know what? It's like the stars will align when the stars will align. And as long as, like I said, as long as I continue to enjoy this process, which is just auditioning and going out there, like as long as I continue to do that and find pleasure in that, I feel like, the stars will align when it's ready. When they're ready, when the universe is ready, then I'll be ready. Hopefully, we'll see. But
I mean,
yeah,
you've done some cool shows already. I mean, I can only imagine that your mom has posters all over her house with like some of the stuff that you've been in. Super supportive.
very.
One of the big things that I really loved through your credentials is Silicon Valley. I love
Oh
that show.
yeah,
That
me
show
too.
is amazing, dude. How was
Yeah,
it? How was it auditioning for HBO and for Mike Judge and all that and all that?
that was amazing because I was already a fan before I got on the show, and so to be on the show was just like, that was just amazing. Like that I even got chosen to be on the show, and not only just one show, I got to be on multiple episodes, which was
Mhm.
great. Yeah, it was a blessing, man. Like the thing about that, I remember auditioning. My daughter was born, and the day after I had the audition, because it was an audition. So I went to a workshop for Leslie Wu, who's this casting director. She called me in and she said, hey, you have this, called me in for an audition over the weekend. My wife gave birth to our daughter over the weekend. And then I had the audition on Monday. And so I went in, read for the part, tried to do my best. Leslie was like, okay, this is good. But, she's like, I want you to read for something else. Here, try this part. So I ended up not getting that part that she initially had me come in for, and I ended up getting the recurring role as Don, who's on the sales team. And so being on that set was amazing too, because you talk about hospitable guys and just like really good down to earth guys, like very witty, smart guys without any kind of ego whatsoever. It's all those guys. Those guys are all class act, and just watching them work, like watching them make it look so effortless. It's just like, how do you do that? They're so quick witted, and just like, because some of the stuff, like some of the funniest stuff, of course, it maybe doesn't get played into the actual show or cut into the show itself, but it's just hilarious because maybe it doesn't add to the storyline or whatever. But them being able to like improvise and just riff and go off was, to me as a fan, just watching that was so fun. And to be in a scene with them, yeah. At the beginning, it was very intimidating because I was like, fuck, dude, I don't want to I'm gonna just know my role and like just play my part. I'm not trying to I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb, So
Yeah.
it was a great experience. Those guys were really cool. And Mike Judd is such a supportive, a very quiet guy, and he's really supportive, dude. And I thought that was very refreshing because, a person like himself, because he directed the first episode that we were in. He even came, he's like, hi, my name's Mike. But, just like really cool. Like, you don't hear, you hear horror stories of other people, but he was the complete antithesis of that, so it was a good experience, man. Yeah.
Huge fan of Mike Judge, King of the Hill, and all that.
Yeah,
Huge
Beats and
fan of that
Pits, bro.
series.
Beats and
Yep.
Pits. That's what I used to watch all the time. Yeah, for sure.
Were there any surprising roles that you auditioned for that you didn't quite get, but if you were to get it, it would have been like life-changing for you?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think if I were to go through like my emails of my auditions and stuff, yeah, I would be like, oh, here and this, and then, oh yeah, blah, blah, but I feel like that by lingering on that or even remembering those things, it will actually create a self-defeated attitude, you know? So I
Yeah.
try, I try to just, you know, like I said, just enjoy the process. And, you know, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But as long as I give my best and say that, okay, I did my best, well, then I find satisfaction in that rather than the end result, which of course you want to get the job. Of course, I want to work. I want to get the job. But,
Yeah.
um, you know, there's a lot of opinions. You know, there's a lot of things that go into you getting the job. So, I can't necessarily, I don't have control of that. What I
Yeah.
do have control of is being prepared, being able to go in and do my best. And as long as if I can walk away from an audition feeling satisfied, that's where I feel good. That's what allows me to enjoy the process, you know?
That's a great way of looking at it. Great way of looking at it. Now, have you ever thought about have you had your own like personal projects that you wanted to you know, shoot or do or anything? Like, have you ever wanted to write something or produce something or maybe even direct something?
Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, especially with all this downtime.
Yeah.
Actually, I know we weren't going to talk about Power Ranger stuff, but I had like a cool kind of like lovable loser kind of Power Ranger-esque kind of story that I wanted to tell.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Well, yeah, he's basically a lovable loser. Like the title of the show would be called Powerless, Power ellipses less, and he's basically an out of work Power Ranger who used to be, you know,
Yeah.
or somewhat somebody, you know, or well known, and now he isn't, and so now he's pretty much just struggling, trying to make it, and so that's still in the making. I know I slung that idea to Jack and to Jessica because I just wanted them to be in it as well. So that's still in the works of making it. But if there are any writers out there that really, because that's the one thing that I know I don't have the full ability to do is to it's such a struggle for me personally, but I feel like it would be a really interesting story to tell, even if it were just like posted up on YouTube or something. You know, I feel like fans would get a kick out of it, even if you're not familiar with our season, but just overall Power Ranger fans would really enjoy it. So yeah, it's like a little comedic twist, you know, but we'll see.
Now, lastly, the thing that you've had to you know, add to your social life, add to your life now is the con circuit. How's that been like since getting your first con? Like, is it tough? Is it hard? Is it hard to separate real life from this and the fan interactions? Do you enjoy it, or is it kind of like taxing on you?
I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It's cool to kind of be acknowledged for something that you've done over 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Now I'm not really on much of the con circuit. Like I'm not like, hey, I'm going to be out here and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be out here. You know, I don't do as many cons as other actors. But the ones that I have done have been fun. It's like I said, it's really fun to kind of be acknowledged by fans who still remember you, and to hear their stories, to even meet kids who aren't familiar with your season, but you know, you just get to know them like through like if it's a 3-day con, you get to know them over those 3 days, and so you build relationships in that sense, and so it's fun. It is fun. I could see, you know, I could see myself doing more if I were to put myself out there, but I haven't really been doing that as much because you know, like I said, I'm here with the family. They're a big part, you know, of my family. I'm on the daddy duties. I'm the cook. I like to cook. I really enjoy cooking. So like, especially during this quarantine, been like, yeah, cooking up a storm. It's been really
there you
fun.
go, man. Shoot some YouTube videos of some of your recipes. I'm sure you'll get some hits, you know.
There you go, man. You give me some ideas. You're gonna be a producer.
Man. Dude, you know what? Anything you need help with on that side, just let me know. I'm kind of getting the hang of things over on this side, so you know,
That's cool.
I could probably shoot over some tips and stuff. But Philip, thank you so much for taking your time and answering these questions. I hope it wasn't too taxing or too personal for you to talk about these things.
Stuff, bro.
Yeah, man. Oh, I mean, if you got time, we can get to the juicy stuff, man.
No, it's very boring. I don't have no stuff. I don't know. No scandals going on.
No, but one thing that one of our friends did interview you a few cons ago. I think it was like YesterCon or something. And then you had suggested taking a girl to Descano Gardens. I took that advice and it worked out really well, man. So thank you for that.
Hey,
it's like it's very unconventional. It's very just like okay. It really worked out. I mean, I'm not seeing her anymore, but that's because of there's other reasons. But
that's
thanks for that, man. So you provide me with those dating tips. I'll provide you with those YouTube stuff, man.
Sure, let's do that.
All right, thanks, Philip.
Have
a good day, man.
I'll talk.